If you saw this metal collar on a soldier during World War II, it was already too late. Across the vast, scarred landscapes of occupied Europe, from the frozen steppes of the Eastern Front to the dusty roads of France, the presence of certain figures signified a shift in power and a tightening of control. Amidst the chaos of total war, where armies clashed and empires crumbled, order was maintained with an iron fist. For many soldiers and civilians, that fist belonged to a specific branch of the German military, a force whose mere appearance could instill a unique and chilling sense of dread. The symbol of their authority was not a weapon, but a piece of polished metal worn around the neck, a glinting crescent that promised swift and unforgiving judgment. These men were the Feldgendarmerie, the military police of the German Wehrmacht. Tasked with a wide array of duties far behind the front lines, they were a constant and often feared presence in the daily life of the occupied territories. Their uniforms were similar to those of the regular army, but they were distinguished by one unmistakable feature: the ringkragen, or gorget. This was a curved metal plate, suspended from a heavy chain that rested on the wearer's chest. Embossed with a national eagle, the word Feldgendarmerie, and buttons finished in a luminous paint, the gorget was designed to be visible even in low light. It was not merely a part of the uniform, it was a potent symbol of absolute authority, earning its wearers the grim nickname Kettenhunde, the chained dogs. The fear inspired by the gorget was deeply rooted in the Feldgendarmerie's function. While military police in any army are responsible for discipline, the Feldgendarmerie operated with a level of autonomy and severity that set them apart. At countless checkpoints on roads and railways, the sight of a soldier raising a hand, the metal gorget reflecting the daylight or the beam of a torch, meant an immediate halt. They were the arbiters of movement, checking papers, searching vehicles, and interrogating travelers with methodical precision. For a civilian trying to navigate the complex restrictions of occupation, or a soldier attempting to return to his unit, an encounter with the Feldgendarmerie was a tense and often perilous affair. The gorget served as an immediate, non-verbal declaration of their power to detain, to arrest, and in many cases to decide matters of life and death on the spot. Their operational scope extended far beyond simple traffic control. The Feldgendarmerie were instrumental in hunting down deserters and stragglers, a task they pursued with relentless efficiency. In the chaotic aftermath of a retreat or a major battle, they would form cordons to sweep the rear areas, apprehending any soldier found without proper orders. The penalty for desertion was often execution, and the Feldgendarmerie were the ones who enforced this brutal discipline. They also played a significant role in anti-partisan operations, working alongside other security units to suppress resistance movements in occupied territories. This often involved reprisal actions against civilian populations, further cementing their fearsome reputation. In every theater of war, they were the enforcers of the Reich's will in the lands it had conquered. The psychological impact of the gorget and the authority it represented was profound. For the average German soldier, the Feldgendarmerie were a force to be avoided, a reminder that the rigid discipline of the Wehrmacht was ever present, even far from the battlefield. A soldier's papers had to be in perfect order, his demeanor respectful, his reasons for travel legitimate. Any deviation could lead to severe consequences. The chained dogs held power over enlisted men and officers alike, and their cold, impersonal enforcement of regulations created an atmosphere of constant scrutiny. The simple dark steel of the gorget became synonymous with this unyielding authority, a visual cue that a soldier's actions were being judged against the harsh standards of the regime. As the war progressed and the German armies were pushed back on all fronts, the role of the Feldgendarmerie became even more critical and more brutal. They were the last line of defense against the complete disintegration of the army, tasked with holding the crumbling ranks together through fear. The sight of the metal gorget in the final desperate months of the war often meant the end for those deemed cowards or traitors. This piece of metal, once a symbol of order, became a harbinger of the final, violent collapse of the Third Reich's military machine, its legacy forever tied to the dark history of the conflict.